He thought she didn't love him anymore, until he opened the box she brought. On their 10th wedding anniversary, Wang Chong slammed the divorce papers on the table and said, "Sign them." Xiao Yu remained expressionless, only saying calmly, "Fine, let's have one last meal at the divorce hotel." Wang Chong had been prepared for this. He felt he was tired of their marriage. Xiao Yu was preoccupied with the mundane details of daily life, devoid of any romance. Divorce would be a relief for both of them, but Xiao Yu's calmness made his heart skip a beat. Gone was the triumphant feeling of being in control that he had anticipated. He could only coldly follow her out the door. This divorce hotel had a peculiar rule. Couples parting ways had to order each other's favorite dishes. If they couldn't sit down. The waiter handed over the menu, and Wang Chong stared at the paper for a long time, his mind blank. He knew nothing about Xiao Yu's favorite dishes or dietary restrictions. Jiang, sitting at her seat, couldn't utter a single dish name, looking embarrassed. Xiao Yu took the menu and immediately rattled off 4 dishes and a soup, all of Wang Chong's favorites. Even when he ate dumplings, he always dipped them in minced garlic, refusing to eat scallions or ginger. She even mentioned her little habit of adding pepper to her soup, making it all crystal clear. Wang Chong lowered his head, his ears burning. He suddenly realized that he hadn't truly cared about his wife in the past 10 years. A moment later, the waiter brought 2 drinks, named half fireworks, half sea, said to be specially prepared for divorcing couples by the hotel. They had just taken a sip when Xiaoya got up to go to the restroom. More than 20 minutes passed, and she hadn't returned. Wang Chong grew anxious. He thought Xiaoya was reluctant to divorce him and was hiding away crying. He even felt a little secretly pleased, feeling that she still cared about him. He got up to look for her, but Xiaoya returned, holding a cardboard box tied with a red string. A wave of guilt washed over Wang Chong. He thought it was their 10th anniversary, and this must be a gift from Xiaoya. He had been too harsh in bringing up divorce. But when he opened the box, it wasn't a gift at all, but a stack of their child's medical records and an insurance policy. It turned out that 6 months ago, their son had a high fever and nearly died in the middle of the night. Wang Chong was out socializing and wouldn't answer his calls. Xiao Yu braved the rain alone, carrying the child to the hospital, and stayed up all night without sleep. She didn't tell Wang Chong, afraid he would worry. The insurance policy listed Wang Chong and the child as the insured, but Xiao Yu was the policyholder. She had already allocated all future insurance to the mother and child, keeping nothing for herself. The two ate in silence, neither speaking, as memories flooded back. 10 years ago, Wang Chong was so poor he had no house or car. Xiao Yu married him against her family's wishes. They lived in a cramped rented room, eating pickled vegetables and steamed buns. Xiao Yu followed him, setting up a stall and running errands, never uttering a tear despite the hardship. Now, life was better. They had a house and savings, but she complained that Xiao Yu was mediocre and had forgotten the hardships they had shared. Just then, a hotel waiter rushed in, saying there was a slight gas leak in the kitchen and they were checking it. He asked everyone not to move around. The atmosphere in the private room instantly tensed, a faint smell of gas filling the air. Without a second thought, Wang Chong pulled Xiaoya behind him, shielding her with his body, covering her mouth and nose with his hand, and whispered, "Don't be afraid. I'm here." He held her hand tightly the entire time, never letting go, his heart filled with fear for her safety. Less than 10 minutes later, the manager arrived to apologize, saying the gas leak had been resolved and there was no danger, just a minor malfunction. But Wang Chong's palms were sweaty, and looking at Xiaoya's pale face behind him, he suddenly panicked. It wasn't intentional. It was an instinctive protectiveness etched into his bones. He realized then that he hadn't stopped loving her, but the mundane routine of life had worn him down, and the subconscious mutual animosity had already shown that Xiaoya had become an integral part of his life. Wang Chong, his eyes red, grabbed the divorce papers and tore them to shreds, choking back tears as he apologized to Xiaoya, saying he had been foolish and shouldn't have forgotten the 10 years of companionship and kindness they had shared. Xiaoya took out two crumpled pieces of paper. One listed Wang Chong's 10 years of dedication, working late into the night to support the family, picking her up from getting off work in the rain, and staying by her bedside when she was sick. A note reads of 10 years of unwavering dedication, managing the household, caring for the young and old, and silently tolerating her bad temper. Marriage is never a fleeting passion, but rather an unwavering commitment amidst the daily grind. Don't wait until you lose someone to appreciate the person who has shared your joys and sorrows.